In today's video, I'm going to be going through another intuitive process that I've been doing over the last couple of videos. And this time I'm going to do it with some collage to start with. So it's going to be an interesting process to see how this painting comes together. I love doing the intuitive painting because you really open yourself up to being creative and having courage and going for it. So I'm going to show you some of the collages that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to start on this I'm actually doing this on paper. It's cartridge paper, but I've given it a coat of gesso just to give it some extra strength. And it's following on from, I think you can maybe see the picture behind me that I did in the last video. So let's get started. So you can see I've got an array of collage that I've done in the past. Some is on paper and some is on tissue paper. And I've got a nice variety of reds and pinks and orange and some mixtures of different colours. And I've also got some lovely greens that I'm going to use as a nice complementary colour, and also some beautiful purples. I don't know whether I'll use those, but I probably will. And so I'm going to have some fun tearing some of these out, putting it on the paper, and then seeing where it takes us. I'm going to be using some Liquitex. This is satin gel to glue the paper and to paint over it. It gives it a lovely finish, and I like using this. So let's get started. So I've just really torn random pieces from the collage. Nice, the nice mixture. I like, the paper ones, but I also like the tissue paper. And it all has different effects, which is lovely. And I think that the great thing about doing this kind of work with the intuitive painting, and especially with the collage, that it presents you with so many different opportunities and prompts, and that can be very inspiring, because you just don't know. Obviously dependent on the shapes that you've torn up, but how you put them together, they'll find their way. And it always intrigues me how that works. I'm sorry you're seeing a lot of my back. It's a difficult angle for the camera to get it without seeing seeing my back, but I think you get the gist of what I'm doing. And I've started with all the reds and the oranges, and then I'm putting some of the green, which is on tissue paper, over the top, so you're going to get the red coming through. And I really like that. And an interesting thing with doing the complementary colour, you want your dominating colour, obviously, and here it's red, and then just a little bit of the green, and then some darker tones. So I think this was a mixture, if I remember, phthalo green and blue together. I can't remember exactly, but it's a lovely contrast and a whole different tone value. So even at this stage, you can be thinking about that. That one is Payne's Grey, I think I've put up there. So, you can sort of look at the balance of a painting, even at the beginning. I mean, you don't have to. And actually, if you're going with the flow, it finds its own balance, which is really good. And, you can carry on and see what happens. But I'm building up a few dark places here to give me a really good starting point for where this painting is going to go. So we shall see. So I've more or less finished this section, and I'm going to leave it for a while so it will dry. So this is dried now, and I'm going to do some drawing on top. I've got different array of black markers, from very thick to very fine, and these are acrylic markers, Posco and a Liquitex. So I'm going to do a bit of drawing, and then I'm going to do some glaze over it, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. I'm going to use some medium with some white paint to make it translucent. So if you use medium with paint, even with the colours that are opaque, you can make it a lot more translucent. So we're going to have a play with that. So you can do a lot of different things with the drawing, and I could do quite a bit of it, I guess, with different coloured crayons or wax crayons, but the mood takes me to do this in black. I'm outlining some of the shapes, not all of them, and just kind of free drawing and seeing where it goes. But you can define the shapes if you want to or not, and you can do it with colour. I'll probably come back to colour crayons at a later stage. This is just kind of giving me a little bit of something to work on for the next bit that I'm going to do with the glazing here. So I've mixed this with some polymer medium, and it's like using water, but it's obviously got a little bit of a different texture. And if you mix it, as I said before, with opaque colours, if you just put a bit of the opaque colour in with the medium, then you can make it really quite translucent and get some nice effects. And it's a glaze at the end of the day. I'm dabbing some of it off here with a napkin, and you just get into the feel, and it goes through these different stages. It goes up and down as to what's appearing. And the important thing is not to be frightened if it's going into a mess, or if you think it's going into a mess. It's not really. It's just going through its growing stages, or its growing pains might be a better way of putting it. But interesting things happen, and you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and eventually something comes through. And I love all that. I mean, even if I cover up all the collage, it doesn't matter, because I've really enjoyed this whole process. One thing that I love to use in some paintings are baby wipes, and you can get some lovely different effects with it. But you'll see I'm going to rub some paint off with the baby wipe, and you still get some interesting effects of the colour underneath. And actually, you can use baby wipes in so many different ways, and it's worth actually experimenting with them, even to use them as putting paint on your canvas or your paper, and then painting over what your first layer with it, because you do get this sort of translucent, interesting outcome when you do that. And it's just a fun thing to try. And I also use them for cleaning off my palette knives or my silicone brushes. It's really good for all of that. Sorry, you've got my hair again. Experiment. If you haven't got any, go and get something from the chemist or the pharmacy or the drugstore, I think, also, and see what you can do with them, because I think you'll find them fascinating to use. So we'll see what's going to happen in the next stage. So here's the first stage of it completed. I'm going to leave it now for a little bit, come back to it, see how I feel, see where it wants to take me, how it's speaking to me. And I think that's such a great thing to do with your painting. You don't have to rush. We're not on a time clock for it. It's a beautiful, creative journey that we're taking ourselves on to see what's going to unfold. So I hope you've enjoyed this process so far. Next video coming up very soon to complete it. And if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Give me the thumbs up. And if you've got any questions, do ask me, because I will answer all your questions. And subscribe because then you'll get the notification of when the next video is coming. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.